Okay, I hope this works. What we have here on the left is the Mr. J worksheet, which I will attach a copy, of course. So what I'm going to do is get me a brush here, a real fine brush, and I'm going to paint the brush black. The numbers you see on the right are numerically, just 1, 2, 3, so forth. The numbers you see, did I say the right? The numbers you see on the left are 1, 2, 3. The numbers you see on the right are next to each other on the wheel. So we have numbers that are next to each other numerically and numbers that are next to each other on the wheel. I'll show you what the whole sheet looks like just for fun. It just goes down, 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 and so forth and so on. Now, the object is, this is the way I do it on paper, on pencil, so I can erase. I make a little connector to show me that 0 and 27 is bet number 1. I make a little connector of some kind to show me this is bet number 2. Of course, if this bet wins, this bet never materializes, but that's okay. So I'll go over here to a penny, and I will bet the 0, 0, and the 27, and spin it and see what happens. 29 hit. Now, what I do is I go, where's my eraser? Tools. Eraser. Okay. When I'm doing this on paper, I just mark through it, but here I'm going to erase it. So we'll know that the 29 is dead, and I'm not going to erase it all the way, we know. And I go over here and I look at the 29, and it's dead also. So we'll mark it out. Go back up. Now, our next bet will be the 0. These are, they're not dead, they're in suspension, let's put it that way. They're on hold. They might be, you may be able to bet them again later. What you're doing on this is you're betting a couplet that sets side by side, either on the wheel or numerically. And your couplet cannot be 27 and 10 because 27 has already been bet. So your next new couplet here is 10, 25. And now since that 29 is gone, we skip it. Our next one would be 12, 8. But let's just go ahead and bet the 0 and the 00. And that will be our next bet. 0, 00. Spin that puppy. Now, I always get my brush here again, or my eraser. I always erase so that I don't get confused on what I'm doing. Okay, now that time, excuse me, where did we hit? We hit the 22. So I got to go over here and find the 22. Now, I had this memorized at one time where, there it is, and get my brush. This is going to be slow. I don't want my brush, I want my eraser. This is going to be slow. This is going to be slow. Well, okay, we're taking out the 22, and then back over here we also take it out on both sides, you understand. 22. 22 now is a dead number. It will never be bet on again bet on period. It hadn't been bet on at all. But it will never be bet on during this trot. Now, our next bet, this was number 2, so our next bet will be number 3. And you will see, I need me a brush here. You will see that they alternate. Okay, this is bet number 3. They alternate from one side to the other. As you continue to play this, you will notice that all of the even bets, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 are on the left. All of the odd bets, 1, 3, so forth, 5, 7, 9, all are on the right side. Okay, now we bet the 10 and the 25. There's the 10 and there's the 25, and we spin that puppy, and we'll just get ready with our eraser because we know we're going to need it. And we get the 16. Okay, now I'm going to erase this too because all we need to know is our next bet is going to be a 4, and we know it's not going to be these two, so we know our next one's going to be this. Okay, now we got to take out our 16, try to find it over here. It's real easy to find it on the left. It's a little harder on the right. So 16, and he's out of there. Okay, now we go back and get our paintbrush. so much faster with a pencil. And number 4 is our next bet, because we've done all of these. So I'll put down the 4, and that's the 1 and the 2. So I'll bet the 1 and the 2 right there side by side, and I'll spin that. Now while that's happening, I'll get my brush and I'll take out this 3. Okay, now, and so I got to take out the 18 now. There it is. And there it is. Now that leaves what's called a dead unplayable number. 17 will never be playable, because you can't go like this from 15 to 17. They have to be sitting side by side. So 17 is out of play. Okay, now we're going to bet number 4, and we're going to bet that on the wait a minute, I just bet number 4. I'm going to bet number 5. See, it's very easy to get confused. Very easy to get confused. Okay, number 5 will be, this is the 5th bet, will be, okay, get my eraser. Oh, this is a pain. Okay, now I'm going to bet the 8 and the 12. Spin that. Okay, 34. Okay. Now we know that our next bet, let's see, where's 34? Oops, missed it. Where's 34? There's 34. And there's 34. Okay, 34 and 34 is out. I hate this. I hate it. Okay, our next bet is the 6, which would be the 3 and 4. Okay, this is bet number 6, and we're only betting a penny each time on these things. We're betting the 3 and the 4. We'll spin it. Eraser. And that was the 8. Look at that. Just a minute ago we were on that 8. Okay. 8, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're ready for bet number 7. Okay, 7, 19, and 31. Okay. And this will be bet number 8 right here. And we've got to take out the 35. There it is. Whoops. You know, I could just, instead of doing that darn eraser, I could use that black pencil. It'd be the same thing. I'll do that in the future. Make it faster. Okay. Okay, now we're betting bet number 8, which is the 5 and 6. And we get the 20. So we take out the 20. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now then, we're at bet number 9, which would be the 6 and the 21. there's a winner. Okay. Now, that's how you play it. Now, I want to show you, and I'm not going to go through all this because it's just taking too long, but there's a couple things that are really important that you have to know. And one of them is these numbers which were formerly not playable because they have the little line marking between them. Now, all of a sudden, let's just say the 00 hits. Okay, that means that 27 and 10 are now not coupled. They were coupled, but now this is gone, so now they're not coupled. So you can make a caveat like that and you can play it. Let's just say, let's do that again. Let's say, okay, the 0 hits. Then you could play the 0 and the 1. Let's say the 2. Now the 2 wouldn't work because if the 2 hit, you've already played the 3 and 4. But if the 3 hit, then that would free up the 4 and the 5 because they have not been coupled. That number 4, now 3 and 4 were coupled. Now number 4 and 5. Okay, that's one thing that's very important. Now there are times when you get a number that you can't do anything with, and that's like the 19, 21, because there's several of them here, so you cannot go like this. You cannot skip a number. You have to go from 14 to 15. So here you have a 17 that you can't use, a 19, a 21 that you can't. The next one you can use is 23, 24. Okay, now that part is very important. Now let's say that you get down here and you have already played this and you lost, and then all of a sudden the 1 hits. Now that frees up the 13. Well, what do you do with it? Because there's not another number. Well, you go back to the very top number, and if it's not hit, the 00. Now I marked it up, so I'll say it's hit. But if it were not hit, your next bet would be the 13 and the 00. And the way I mark them is like this. I mark the 13 down and the 00 just like it was going to be below, so it will go up just like that. And whatever bet, 14 or 15, whatever bet it is, well, it wouldn't be 14 or 15 because this happens when you're like maybe 30 bets or 35 bets in, because you've already gone through all these. So, but that's the way it works. So we hit on the, I don't know how many was spun before we hit, but we did get a hit. Now I went through the Zuma tester for the American wheel, and I made a ton of these sheets right here. In fact, this sheet, yeah, I'll show you here. This is half the sheet. The other half, well, it's not there. The other half, I just turned the sheet upside down and see, I can use it. And then I did it on the back of the paper. So each sheet of typing paper contained 4 of these. Many times I hit it really quick, so I just erase it and use the same sheet to, save money. But I went through that tester for days on end, and I was meticulous in what I was doing so that I did it right. And I'm going to tell you, I went up to a $5,000 profit. Now, this was using $5 bets, just like Mr. J said, which I would never do, but he was using $5 bets. And now there is a progression that goes with this. Your first 15 numbers are betted a penny, and then the progression kicks in, and it goes all the way. Now, you really must understand, you will not win every one of these. You just won't do it. I lost several, but you win a whole lot more, or I did anyway. I won't guarantee you will. But I won a whole lot more of them than I ever lost, and that made the $5,000 profit on that thing. So there it is. I'm open to questions. If anybody has anything they want to come in on or question, just let me know, and we'll make another video.